Zisu. We've seen Team Flash play before. They love to play towards the top side of the map. T1 start things off with the Lucian.
So, something that I want to mention about Team Flash is, I believe yesterday we saw the Ashe Lux combo, right? Omega Esports pulled it off. Team Flash is another team that pulls off this combo. They've done it many, many times in their region. So, are we gonna see it? Are we not gonna see it? It's probably not gonna be picked against a Lucian though, because Lucian can't dodge the roots from Lux. But just so you guys know, Team Flash is also one of those teams that pulls off this crazy Ashe Lux combo.
And Team Flash has been on a hot streak recently, not only winning the WCS, but also winning the SEA Games, and then now coming into the Icons Global Championship. They are the best in Southeast Asia.
By far.
Yeah, by far. Against teams to the WCS, doesn't seem like anyone can keep closer now. Will they finally be tested? Will it be the WCK team first or the WRL team later?
So the question is this going to be a mid lane Lucian? And we see a Corki as well. These are probably going to be two champions with Hull Breakers. We see that coming, and this is a standard thing. And Wukong, this is a very, very big power pick for T1 right now.
Yeah, pretty standard overall. T1 will also go for the Ziggs at the end of that in the first pick rotation, trying to pick up something with good clear, giving them some time to play the game. Otherwise, this Lucian has been flexible so far, but likely, like you mentioned, in the mid lane.
And I feel this is also a bit of a denying pick for Team Flash, because Ali actually loves to play the Ziggs. He played Ziggs a lot during the regional tournaments in Southeast Asia, so I feel T1 is not just picking it for themselves, they're also kind of denying it. And I know that Ali also loves to pick the Ashe, but Lux Ashe is not going to work that well into this composition, and we see a Renekton. This is a pick that Shy is going to excel on.
The Renekton comes through from Shy, especially into the likely Wukong matchup. Seems like Team Flash want to give themselves something stable in their top side. Could still see the Varus come through for Team Flash, something Ellie has also played a lot of. Otherwise, like you've mentioned, I think you've said that the Lux has been a new up-and-coming pick Team Flash have played it for. Might want to go for something similar.
You know what I find interesting, Brandon, is that Team Flash is taking this early game approach. They have the Corki with the packages, they have the Lee Sin, and they have the Renekton. These are all very strong early game champions. So I'm seeing Team Flash pull off a very aggressive early game, go for every objective, push turrets, ganks, and stuff like that. So they ban out the Jax to not give kind of a safe jungler to T1 right now to scale into that late game.
I'll tell you what, Team Flash are the kind of team that will go into games and they will blow your mind. Because I don't know if you've seen this, Coyote has gone in with Garen mid, right, and got a quadra kill before first dragon.
Oh, wow. You don't see that too often.
No, and it's something that Team Flash does so often. We see a lot of the support pool now banned out though. Stuff like the Nami, the Thresh, the Rakan taken away on both sides.
Yeah, both teams haven't picked supports yet. So we can see, they're both banning away supports. Team Flash banning away that Nami. T1 banning away the more aggressive supports, because they do know that Empty loves to play the Thresh, the Rakans, those more aggressive. There it is! There it is! They still pick it!
You still get the Lux.
Yeah, I was talking about it. I didn't really see it coming, but that's definitely, well, is it going to be a Lux Ashe? Probably not, because they already have a Corki. Lux support, possibly, but yeah, they pull off the Lux.
Might be the Lux coming in here. Maybe in the Baron side. Ellie has played it before as well. Well, not the Baron side, the Dragon side rather, the Dragon lane, and just having a engaged style support or something with Peel. We'll have to see what they want to go for. They do still have their last pick.
That's a Lulu with a Lucian in the Dragon lane. Is this I believe this is the first time we've seen a Lulu during the Icons. Yeah, this is the first.
We've seen it before. We've seen Lulu with Vayne.
Yeah, we've seen it once before, but we don't see a lot of Lulu. But T1 is doing it right now, so they're putting a lot of resources on BDG on that Lucian, and he can pull it off. If there's one guy that can carry the game, it's BDG. And Gragas coming through from Team Flash as well. Oh man, this is looking like an interesting draft. It's just a loose Lux. It seems like it's Lux in the Dragon lane with the Gragas and then Corki in the mid lane. Very, very interesting from Team Flash.
Yeah, something that Team Flash seems quite well practiced on. They've been giving some inklings to that in the WCS in their regular season play, but now going into the international stage, we'll continue to stick true to that. And I know, Hells, you've been saying even prior to the Icons that you were expecting a lot more power in the Dragon lane role. BDG now, the WCK as a region, like to play towards the Dragon side with their marksman. How do you feel about this Lucian Lulu carry?
Yeah, and I love this pick into the Lux, because if Lux catches out BDG, it is possible.
One extra 1,000 gold lead for every minute of the game as we start this one off. Team 1 and Team Flash. One of the last few teams to debut on the Icons Global Championship. Team Flash looking for a win to start this one off.
Oh yeah, and we can see Jong playing that Garen and Shy playing the Renekton. And Renekton is the one champion that can absolutely destroy a Garen in the Baron lane. And I see Zisu chilling on top there. He may be looking for some stuff, but yeah, early game aggression is the name of the game.
It is interesting to see the Wukong go into the jungle, though. We've seen it a lot more in lane, especially with his Stone Spin's passive. Does very well into a lot of matchups. So bringing the Wukong elsewhere as a flex pick is quite nice to see as well.
Oh, and Jong is doing very, very well into Shia, using his Grasp of the Undying very, very well. And BDG going for some aggression as well. We see both teams are looking for aggression right now. I thought it would be Team Flash looking for aggression, but it actually seems like T1 is also, they're not holding the brakes.
Trading tit for tat. You can't always hold back on one side. And
oh yeah, definitely. And it seems like Zissou is still farming his jungle, just making sure he takes that golden experience, not going for the early game aggressiveness I was talking about. And Jong, every single time using that Grasp of the Undying, making sure he destroys Shy on that Renekton.
We see the barrier as well, so it gives him a little bit more safety. Go into the matchup, Shy with the Ignite, trying to look for the kill.
And I love to see that, because when you're playing Garen into Renekton, you'll want to have a barrier, because Renekton has so much early game damage, and that barrier could be life or death for you to escape, right?
Absolutely. Between the Lee Sin ganks, between the Renekton, there's so much damage coming at you at all times. Barrier could really be that difference maker. We do see both sides trying to pick up the Scuttle Crabs now, slightly slower. Nobody's really looking for anything too aggressive.
Ooh, T1 is invading right now, and I feel this is a bit dangerous, because JY may not be ready for Zissou coming to him, because they do have a controller, and you can see it. He knows it as well. He doesn't go for it. It's a bit of a time waste for JY, but it's okay, I would say, as long as they don't die.
Sure, vision picked up here for JY while he goes over to the blue buff, but like you said, nothing gained. Team Flash will be able to move back over and pick up the blue buff now.
Yeah, and I think this is good. This is fine for T1, right? Like, even though they're probably going to be behind a little bit of gold, because JY did waste a little bit of time as opposed to the rotation of Zissou, but it's okay. As long as you don't lose early game, you should be fine into this composition. T1 has the late game composition, and here you can see the experience. It's fine. Like, no one is super ahead, no one is super behind. T1 is doing a very solid job right now.
Maintaining a close game state benefits T1 quite a bit here.
Yeah, definitely. With that composition that they have, like, I actually think Team Flash has like no chance to win the late game. I would even go as far as saying that. So it's crazy to me how Zissou hasn't ganked a single lane yet. I think he should not have approached the game like this, because like, you're playing Lee Sin. This is one of the strongest early game junglers in the game.
Very bold claim there, Hells. See?
Yeah, I know.
Team Flash want to look to prove that wrong. Zissou, I think, well, he's cleared his entire jungle at this point. Needs to find something else to do in the map.
Oh yeah, definitely. And it seems like, Core as well on that Ziggs, just playing his lane safely. Actually, Coyote had conditioning as well, so it seems like Team Flash has some later game runes as well. And while I'm talking, Shai and Jong are just punching each other in the Baron lane.
They will do whatever they want to do. So let's talk a little bit about what happens here. But starting off in the group stage, T1 has come in through Plains. WCK lost Kwangdong Freaks on the way here. Whereas now we get to see the #1 seed Alpha and WCS. We've touted them as a team that is looking to compete against the WRL. Yeah. And we want to see them perform exceptionally well on their debut stage, on their debut game. Moving into game #1 here, trying to find something on the core, but barrier will stop any more from Zissou.
Yeah, but T1 is doing a really, really good job dealing with Team Flash, because when you're up against a team like this, it's scary, right? Like, the mental game is like, we're up against a team that's so incredibly good, we gotta do well. And to me, it seems like T1 is definitely calm and collective, especially Jong. He's ahead in his lane against a Renekton. He hasn't died, and he's actually, even though he doesn't have a kill, he is winning. You can clearly see he's always on the upper hand. So it's really nice to see that T1 is definitely stepping up the game against a team like Team Flash.
Absolutely, being able to hold his own, in fact, finding a small lead for himself as well. Team Flash trying to wait out until the first objective spawns, it looks like. T1 definitely not unhappy about this set of circumstances.
So I'm expecting T1 to relax during the first objective, and actually no relaxing right here, because we saw Graga's ultimate come through, but nothing happened. A thing that I want to talk about, however, Grandin, is Team Flash has a Hull Breaker on Coyote. This is an advantage that they're gonna have, because T1 does not have the Hull Breaker. So the question is, how are they gonna play around it?
There is a difference there to be had for sure. Not having the Hull Breaker makes it a little bit more difficult, but of course you still do have the Ziggs. Shine looking for a trade up in the top side against Jong, gets him very low. The barrier used as well. I don't think Shine has the combo to finish off the Garen here though.
But those are some important ultimates burnt right before the Dragon and the Rift Herald. That's the Renekton ultimate, that's the Gragas ultimate. They will still have a Corki package, but it's not really good for Team Flash to be burning out those important ultimates, because T1 could potentially even take a fight against them, as Coyote has the Hull Breaker, which is not strong during team fights.
Oh, absolutely, right? You have the Cyclone, you have the Lucian, who has managed to go back and pick up his Storm Rays at this point. Quite a substantial power spike here for T1. unfortunately for them, it looks like they're a little bit late to this, so Team Flash will be able to sign off the Dragon first. T1 trying to trade for Rift Herald.
Yeah, T1 is obviously going to trade this one, right? They don't want to be fighting up against that early game composition of Team Flash, and this is good.
Team Flash is going to move over now, though. T1 need to finish off the Rift Herald quickly.
They got to be fast. I'm not sure if they can make it. It's at 3k health right now, and Team Flash may look for a fight right here.
They're getting pretty close. Moving on to the Rift Herald right now. Smite finally does come across Shine just seconds too late. Team Flash get the Dragon and T1 get the Rift Herald.
And yet again, I would say this is fine for T1. Although we can see Zissou looking for some aggression right here. He may try to go for a gank, but they're not getting anything. This is an 0-0 game. Objectives are traded, no gold leads. Like, this is not how Team Flash wants this game to go, because very soon T1 is going to be getting a turret as well with that Rift Herald, which is actually going to get them a lead.
T1 want to be able to find that first turret, especially when you have the Ziggs, so very easy to make that happen.
Oh, Zissou wants to go for it again. He's waiting right there. He's waiting.
Camps. He has the angle, looking for the catch on the core, but Core still with his flash.
Still no kills for Team Flash. It's still 0-0, and Zissou's looking for another gank.
So he's going to make his way down to the bottom side instead now. Sonic Wave will not connect.
This is just a tragic game for Zissou, to be honest, Grandin. Like, he constantly tries to look for a gank because he knows if he doesn't get a single gank in, they just won't win the game, and he's gonna go for it again.
Well, T1 have overstayed their welcome a little bit. He lands it on the Penguin, though. Moving on to the Lulu first. Won't manage to see the Wild Growth come across. Penguin's still alive. Not able to finish off a kill. Team Flash do get to push them off the turret, though.
Very, very well played by T1 right there, and even defending that turret as well. This is just this is such good gameplay by T1. They know they're up against Zissou on that Lee Sin. They know he's going to be looking for those ganks, but they're not dying to it. This is so unbelievably well played by T1, and they didn't lose anything right there.
Yeah, neither side yet lose anything. They might be able to find something on Coyote, though. Coyote has to use his flash now. Also comes in, barrier from Coyote, dodges away for the bouncing bomb, but not bad by the satchel charge, getting a little bit risky. Zissou is nearby, and so T1 are going to have to back off.
Oh, that was a close one as well, and we're still sitting in 0-0 in this game right now. Both teams are trying to play it so cleanly. They haven't gotten a single kill yet. No gold leads, nothing. Shy is waiting in that bush, but I'm not sure if he can 1v1 BDG and Penguin right there.
Yeah.
1v2, so.
Yeah, in a 1v2 situation, it's going to be difficult. Empty's going to make his way up top side. They just have to move in. Laser comes across. Penguin's finally going to go down. First blood over to Team Flash. Then move on to BDG and Zissou right here to clean up the second kill.
And there is the Lux. Ellie with a beautiful ultimate, perfectly following up after Shy stunned BDG and Penguin right there. This is what you want to see from a Lux. Although on the other side of the map, T1 did pick up a turret, so they're still not behind in gold.
Absolutely, but Team Flash are looking at a turret of their own very soon. Between the top side and the mid side being shoved in. The bot side low as well. Wow. A little bit of damage onto JY. It's actually quite risky. Team Flash with an opportunistic kill in the mid lane.
Ellie just caught invisible Wukong right there. Did you see that? He just avoided the clone and he caught an invisible Wukong. These are the mechanics that a team like Team Flash has. And that's the kind of player you want to see on a Lux, right? He'll catch you no matter what.
That light binding.
Oh. That hurts in my soul. I've played against a lot of Lux players. I've played against a lot of good Lux players, and yeah. I can tell what JY was feeling about that. You know, he thought he was safe in this clone, but no, he was not safe against Ally on that Lux.
Yeah, that's rough. That's rough. Team Flash 3-0 now. I don't know, Hells. You were saying that they needed 5,000 gold before Dragon.
They didn't get it. They didn't get it. I think T1 is doing a very good job. They still have the Rift Herald, you know, and they got a turret as well. They're doing fine. Like, sure, they're behind, but Team Flash...
Tara used her, package used her in the mid lane. The Rift Herald was used as well. Looking like they want to jump on the JY and just pulls the attention over as 5 members start to congregate in the mid lane here for T1.
And T1 did use their Rift Herald right there. Unfortunately, not getting the mid tower, but Jong goes in.
Looking for the entry angle. Jong won't be able to get out. Ooh, that's the Hourglass. Gone from BDG, but he still has his flash. Very nicely times it to dodge away from the spells.
Yeah, and that's the one way T1 can survive the full engage of Lux. Just use your stasis enchant, right? Like, use the stasis after you get rooted, and you can survive. So very, very well played by BDG right there, making sure he survives with the stasis enchant, and we want to see him do that in the late game as well.
Second Rift Herald started here for Team Flash. Dragon's still not up, and so Team Flash,
yeah,
they have priority over this.
Yeah, I like this. They have to rush this because they can get every single objective. They have the early game comp, they have the Corki. They can take this. They should not wait. They just got the Rift Herald, and they're going to fight for the Dragon as well, Brandon.
Dragon's going to come up in half a minute.
Yeah.
T1, they kind of split up right now.
Oh, you got it.
Yeah, Zissou gets the blue buff away as well. A mid lane tower gonna go down, and so you start to see here the macro game plan here for Team Flash. Push the mid lane, get the dragon.
This is exactly... Oh, he got...
No, it's
he
still
got
pretty
way
close.
more.
BG has the exhaust, and that's the only reason Zissou wasn't able to get the kill first. T1 finally trade back with one, but in the mid lane. Reptile still coming in. Team Flash get to continue shoving.
Team Flash doing such a great job right now. This is what they need to do. Extend their lead, keep pushing. Although that I'm saying that T1 is only behind 2k gold right now. It's not that much.
Sure, Dragon coming up now, but Team Flash don't have Zissou. Zissou went down while trying to find a kill onto BDG, and so Dragon difficult to go onto. Team Flash looking for the light binding, but it misses. Jung over by the side, meets Empty.
Yeah, Team Flash is still gonna fight for this Dragon. Like, they still have the better composition. Jong is hungry for some blood, though.
I mean, he has the exhaust that gives JY the entry angle in as he jumps onto Ellie. Ellie has to flash over the wall. Meanwhile, still, now we get to see Shy moving in. Empty over by the front lines, but he's run out of mana, has to start flashing away. The Renekton tanky, but not that tanky. Zissou comes in to finish off the job, looking for his first kill onto JY. He gets it with the help of the rest of his team.
Oh, and Team Flash barely winning that team fight. That was a bit closer than the comfortable level for Team Flash, right? Like, that was a bit too close for them. But Team Flash still winning. Team Flash still securing the objectives. They're trying to extend their lead. T1 is trying to hold off, and they're doing an okay job with it. But Team Flash now finally playing the way that they're supposed to.
Yeah, Team Flash being able to pick up these kills, defines the objectives, working on the macro game. Looking good for Team Flash.
Oh yeah, definitely. They got 2 dragons already, they got a Rift Heralds, and they got a Gold League now. The only thing is, just make sure T1 does not reach that late game. BDG on that Lucian, combined with Penguin on that Lulu, that is one of the scariest combos you could deal with in the late game. Because normally a Lucian is not that strong in the late game, but when you combine a Lulu with a Lucian, that's where it gets super scary.
Absolutely, you know, you don't want to have to deal with the Arn Sensor Lucian running into your face, and well, we see that coming online now for T1. Package will be up for Team Flash, so depending on what they want to try and go for in the next coming minutes, going to have a very impactful side laning tool. Trying to move in onto core here, dashing in, Shy, gets the stun down, but Team Flash not able to follow up.
I like that aggression, because if it was a 1 versus 1, what would have happened is Shy would have stunned core on that Ziggs, and then Ellie would have followed up with the Lux ultimate. Like, we've seen it happen earlier, and Jong is trying to fight Shy right here.
Shy is reaching a point where he can deal with the Garen.
Yeah.
Start to see now Black Cleaver and Blade of the Rune King.
So Team Flash is constantly trying to catch someone out and then follow up with Ellie on that Lux with the ultimate, right? Like, that's the thing you can do when you have a Lux in your team. So I just feels like Team Flash has to get into it a bit more, and I see them catching out a lot more members from Team 1 in this game later on.
Trying to work on that top side turret. Team Flash deciding to move over the top end. They have a lot of pick potential, like you've said, Hells. And I think they know that, which is why they're trying to pull them towards the top side, where they can find these catches. And exactly like we've mentioned, core goes down.
There it is, Team Flash pushing their lead, taking turrets, you know, Baron is spawning. This is exactly what Team Flash has to do, and it's good to see them pull off this competition finally. I even see them start this Baron right now. Yeah, exactly. They could just start the Baron, force a fight by T1, and then win the 5 versus 4.
Starting a Baron on spawn, the ward does spot them out, so Team Flash have to renew their efforts on the Baron, trying to zone T1 away. T1, they are not convinced, saying, we don't think you're actually doing this Baron, this is a bait. But despite knowing that, they must walk in. John goes in first. You see over the backline, Penguin trying to pull some attention this way as Shy is looking for the entry and go in. JY comes through massive as they take down Zissou finally. Light Binding does not connect. Team Flash lose 1 in that exchange.
T1 actually able to win that fight, and the reason is because Baron reduced the resists of Team Flash, sorry. When you take the Baron, every single second you're losing armor and you're losing magic resist. So Team Flash overestimating the power of their composition right now, as they actually lost the fight against that, because BDG on that Lucian just did a tad bit too much damage for their magic resist and armor to be reduced by the Baron right there.
And even beyond that, compounding on that even more, the last Whisper here for BDG, so really does not want to see you have any armor at all.
Team Flash actually sitting on 2 Hull Breakers right now, by the way. We see Shy on the Renekton picking up a Hull Breaker, and then Coyote who has the Hull Breaker as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how Team Flash plays around those Hull Breakers, because we know they have to play a lot around objectives to extend their lead. But it seems like when they get to the late game, Team Flash understands they don't want a team fight, so they actually choose to get 2 Hull Breakers just to split push.
I mean, you get a split push, I get a split push. T1, they don't get to decide what they want to do. They're just going to be pulled apart. And it's difficult, you know, 2 massive forces on both sides of the map.
Oh yeah, and meanwhile BDG picked up his 3rd item on that Lucian, by the way. He's going for a hyper carry Lucian build. That's a Storm Razor, that's a Solari Charge Blade, that's a Cerulda's Grudge. These are hyper carry items.
I mean, I've always loved Cerulda's Grudge as an item. Empty, caught out in the mid lane. Team Flash start running away. We start to see the power of the Cerulda's Grudge as BDG runs them down so quickly. Flash coming through, BDG gets knocked away by the Dragon's Rage, but Zissou gonna fall here. trying to find a trade back onto core. Shy dashes in, jumps onto the Ziggs. The Ziggs still has the minefield, trying to slow the Renekton, but Team Flash spot this out and are rotating back.
Oh, and you can see it. Coyote on the opposite side, pushing an inhibitor turret.
BG.
While this fight is happening, Coyote's getting the turret.
Ellie going to go down here to JY, gets a prismatic barrier. Actually does not here, still has light binding. Won't be able to find the final spell to kill off the Wukong. Coyote in the bot side.
Get the turret, Coyote! Get
Playing
the turret!
a different game for the rest of his team. He's playing for turrets, the macro game here for Team Flash.
There you go, exactly. Team Flash knows they don't want to fight. They just get turrets. They get the double hole breaker, they split push, they get the turrets. And now Team Flash has a massive advantage because they got that bot lane inhibited tower. How is T1 gonna get to that Baron without having someone in the bot lane right now?
They're going to have to constantly be aware of that, so either pick up the teleport or go for something else. I mean, it's going to be difficult for sure.
Team Flash is just playing so incredibly well. Even though they screwed up a few times during team fights, this is what's supposed to happen with that composition. They cannot win a late game team fight against BDG. And as you look into this replay, you can see it, right? Even Jong, who is the tankiest member from T1, he goes in like crazy. You know, he goes in, he tanks up everything, and then Team Flash has no chance. And right here you can see it, right? BDG is fearless. Reason that he's fearless is because he has Penguin on that Lulu backing him up as well. He should not die. Unless he gets bursted down like crazy and whew, I mean, look at that, look at that.
Zissou looking for an angle on the BDG. BDG gets kicked into Team Flash, but the rest of his team here to try and protect him. Not back once again. Zissou over by the side. It's Coyote that finds a kill onto the Lucian. BDG down, and Team Flash have taken away 3 on the side of T1.
Oh no, this was the moment for T1, and it's now all falling apart as the Elder Dragon spawned.
All it takes is one team fight and a quadra kill for Coyote again.
Oh no, what happened? One team fight and the game is just over right now.
Teleport through from Team Flash in a methodical fashion. They get it exactly done like they need to. No pentakill for you today, Coyote. But it will be game number 1 going over to Team Flash.
What happened, Grandin? That was a game that T1 could have won, but they screwed up one team fight. And because Team Flash had set up this game so incredibly well, by taking that bot lane inhibitor, by taking 2 mid lane turrets already, one mistake was the game for them.
I mean, playing into the palms of Team Flash, honestly. Team Flash, while it may have seemed like
drawing aggro from T1, and therefore that's what we saw. Coyote just dealing a lot of turret damage, a lot of wave clearing, and you know the base is gone, basically.
Yeah, when you see a chart like this, it's not exponentially growing, it is consistently growing.
Yeah.
And you love that because that generally comes from a fact that a team knows they're better, they put themselves in a winning position, and then just hold that position until they win the game. A lot of the time you get to a point where someone has to flip a game, and that's where you see a very sharp downturn. Here it was just a steady choke out and win.
Yeah, T1 were always in control of this game, and it didn't come from team fights, or sorry, Team Flash were always in control of this game.
Yeah.
And it didn't come from team fights, it didn't come from like really flashy play, it came from, okay, we know we can always get the better side of each trade, or when a trade starts looking bad, when it, you know, this could go wrong for us, they are one of the quickest teams in the world at pulling the plug. At going, oh, we spent our cooldowns, we have invested everything we have to try and find a kill here, we didn't find it, we're gonna leave, we're gonna try again in a couple